Good evening, students. Welcome to today's class. And as you can see on your screen, today I'm here to teach you a story, a very interesting one. And this is my favorite one. This is the one that teaches me lot many life lessons to become a good human being in life, right? And I hope you are going to take away many good life lessons today, right? By the end of this chapter, by the time we finish this particular video, I think you would be able to reflect on your life. You would be able to revisit your habits and your thoughts that you always perceive in mind, right? And you would be able to check yourself whether where you stand actually, right? So this is really a very interesting story, and I proudly bring it to you, right? And today I'm going to read out some of the important points actually from this particular text so that you will be able to understand the text easily, right? So actually the main character of this story is Matilda Loisel, right? The main character is Matilda Loisel, and she is a beautiful lady. Okay, she is very beautiful. She is pretty, right? But unfortunately, she is born to a very poor family. In the very beginning of the story, when you read the first paragraph, right there, it is mentioned that she was one of those pretty young ladies born as a though an error of destiny into a family of clerks, right? Means she was although she was very pretty young, okay, she looked gorgeous also, but unfortunately she was born to a family of clerks, okay. And to add to this problem, one more thing happens, and she allowed herself to marry a petty clerk in the office of the board of educations, okay. As she was born to a very middle class family, they were not rich, so she could not marry a rich man also, right? And ultimately she had to marry a clerk who was working in the office of the board of education, right? And she was simple, she was very good, but the main thing here is that she was unhappy with the life that she had. Actually she wanted to be rich, right? She wanted to lead a luxurious lives, right? She wanted all kinds of delicacies and luxuries in life. She was just tired of the this manageable life. She didn't want to manage in life, okay. She wanted luxury, right? But what happens to her, let us see when we move through this particular chapter and we try to understand it. Here some of the important points I have highlighted for you people, right? What she would like to do in life, whenever they would go out for dinner, okay, she would be comparing her dinner table with the other people. She would always like to have marvelous dishes. She would always like to have the continental dishes and the food, right? She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing. She loved only those things, right? In the third paragraph it is written that she wanted these things. She was very materialistic means वो दुनिया की जो चीज़ें दिखावे की चीज़ें होती है उस पर वो ज़्यादा विश्वास करती थी. She wanted, she believed in showcases, okay. She believed that beauty is everything. She believed that if you wear good clothes and if you dress yourself properly, and if you are wearing a good jewel, a costlier jewel, then people would appreciate you, they would respect you. But let us see whether she was right or wrong. The time would say it all. Right, now let us move on. What happens, she was very much unhappy in her life, and she would always complain her husband that she's not having a good dress, she doesn't have a party wear cloth, she doesn't even have a good jewelry, she doesn't even get the chance to go to a good restaurant and have dinner, okay, right? And I think she must be complaining about the you know the kind of houses in which they were living in, okay, because she compares herself with other friends of her, okay. And luckily she had a very rich friend, she had a very rich friend, a schoolmate of her was very rich, and her name was Madame Forestier, okay. She was Matilda's friend actually. They were schoolmate at a convent school, they had studied together, right? And one evening what happens, suddenly uh, Mr. Loisel. Mr. Loisel, he brings a surprise for his wife. And what was the surprise? Okay, you'd be also surprised to hear this particular one. One evening, her husband returned elated, bearing in his hand a large envelope. What was there in the envelope? Let us see here. He said, here is something for you. Okay, means he wanted to give this present to his wife so that she would at least feel good, because she always complains in life. She's not much happy with the lifestyle that they have. So that's why he thought of giving something up good, so that she would at least appreciate the life, or she would live her life to the fullest. And what he does, he brings from inside a beautifully carved, okay, a printed invitation card where it was written. What was written in that invitation card, and who had invited them? The Minister of Public Instruction and Madame George Rampone, right? This is a very important post, you can understand it. Means minister is a highly respectable person as far as the democracy, as far as the government of France is concerned. Actually, this story has been written in France. Okay, the plot has been designed in France. It's about a French family, Madame Loisel, Mr. Forestier, Mrs. Forestier. So these all are the French names, right? Their pronunciations are a bit difficult. Okay, the Minister of Public Instructions and Madame George Rampone, right, asks the honor of Mr. and Mrs. Loisel's company Monday evening, January 18th, at the minister's residence. Means I think they are organizing a party for their near and dear ones, and only few members must have been invited, as it is a very it means a royal celebration. Not all people would be invited. Their common people, I think, are not invited. Or I hope, means Mr. Loisel was a very dutiful person. He was a very honest man. Okay, and he was a, I think, very good employee. He had a good rapport in his office. That's why he has been given this honor to spend the night, the ball time, okay, with the rich families and the ministers, right? But what happens to Matilda? Is Matilda happy after receiving this particular invitation? She must be happy, because she always likes to be among the rich people. She loves to wear good dresses. She loves to attend party, right? She needs all kinds of luxuries. So it's also a symbol of luxury. If you're going to a ball game, if you're going to the ball, means ball is, party where, I think you can watch in the YouTube videos about it also, right? So it's a different kind of party, right, where the rich people enjoy, right, this. And what happens here? She threw the invitation upon the table. She threw it, means she's rejected it, and she said that, what do you suppose I want with that? Okay, you mean that I would be going there? Okay, and Mr. Loisel, he could not believe that what happened to Matilda, means why she is behaving in such a way. She should have been happy because she always loves to go to the party. Then he requested his wife and he wanted to know what's the reason actually. Why is she disappointed after getting the invitation? But my dearie, I thought it would make you happy. You never go out, and this is an occasion and a fine one. Everybody wishes one, and it is very select. Means only few people are given this particular opportunity to spend the ball time with the minister's family. Okay, and you and me are the chosen one. Okay, so you must be happy with that. Not many are given to employees. You will see the whole official world there, means you can find all the officers being present over there, right? So you must go there, right? Clear. But what happens to Matilda? What is the matter? What's the matter that she is disappointed after reading that particular invitation? Okay, what made her disappointed? So what she says, what do you suppose I have to wear to such a thing as that? You know that that's going to be a very very what rich party, and many rich ladies would be coming. They would be coming in pretty dresses, they would be coming in rich jewelries also. And what do I have to wear to the party? Do I have a good dress to wear, right? Clear. So he could not understand what he would do, right? It's really a big problem. If your wife says that means she doesn't have a dress to go to the party, marriage party or somewhere, if you are planning to go, and if your wife says that no, I'm not going to go there, right? Clear. If I don't have a good dress, I don't have a good sari to wear there, then obviously the husband would get disappointed. But still, Mr. Loisel is a very good man. He's a gentle and simple living man. So he says that what he said, why the dress you wear when we go to the theater, it seems very pretty to me. You have a dress, no, that you usually wear to the theater. हम लोग जब theater जाते हैं, जो dress आपके पास है, you wear that particular one, that looks very good. Okay, clear. Then what she must have replied, right? She says that no, I'm not going to go there in that particular fit. I'm not going to go there in that particular dress. Nothing, only I have no dress, and consequently I cannot go to this affair. Give your card to some colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I. Okay, so Matilda here gets furious, she gets angry, and she says the sorry, my dear hubby, my dear husband, I can't go there with you. Better you gift it to somebody else who has a better outfit for his husband, for his wife, so that they can go and enjoy it. But I'm extremely sorry, I can't go to that party, to such a very luxurious party in such a poor and shabby cloth that I have. Okay, so what he would do, clear, right? What actually what the husband would do, actually it's really a very big problem, right? See, he was grieved but answered, let us see, Matilda, how much would a suitable costume cost? But I find this man to be very gentle, very simple, very very kind, very generous. Okay, means he understands. Okay, he wants to fulfill all the dreams and wishes of his wife. That's why he asks very gently that how much would a good suitable costume cost to you? Okay, and Matilda thinks for a minute, right? She thinks for a minute, and now because she has got a signal from her husband, and husband means is giving the signal to actually get a new costume so that she could go and enjoy the party over there. So she thinks very seriously. So in this particular sentence, okay, in this paragraph, if you read, a beautiful thing is written here. She reflected for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she could ask without bringing it in. Immediate refusal and frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Here economical clerk refers to, economical means someone who doesn't want to spend more money, or doesn't have the capacity, doesn't have the potential to buy costlier things. Okay, so that's why he says that my economical clerk hubby cannot give me a costlier one. So she thought and thought and thought, means she must have planned that, oh, if I say 1000 franc, I think he would refuse. He would directly say, no, I can't give you 1000. So what she says, finally she comes to a conclusion, and she says that I cannot tell exactly, my dear, but I think 400 francs, it's enough. I think I would get a good dress or good costume in 400 francs. Francs is the, it is the currency of France. Franc is the currency of France. So please do remember it. Okay. He turned a little pale because he's a very simple clerk. His earning is very little. Okay, he has a meager sum of money, and with that little earning they have to manage everything. And now the wife is demanding a dress which is really costlier, which cost 400 francs. I think 10 times more than the salary of her husband also. So what a poor husband can do? I think he had no other choice. So he finally had saved, he agreed to give this beautiful costume to his wife. Okay, because he had no other choice left for him, right? And he luckily had saved 400 francs. Okay, he had saved 400 francs rupees. Actually he wanted to buy a gun for him, so that on Sunday at least he would go on shooting with his friends and can enjoy the day with them, right? So finally he had to sacrifice because he was left with no other options, right? And now what happens, now the dress was brought for Madame Loisel. Now Madame Loisel must be very happy. She must be looking pretty in the new dress, and she must be, getting prepared to go to the party. But now let us see what happens. The ball day approached, means the day was coming nearer, means the day of party, January 18th, is coming nearer, and it was time for them to prepare themselves so that they would be attending the party. But before few days, what happens? She looked very sad, disturbed, and anxious. Who looked sad, disturbed, and anxious? Madame Loisel. Okay, Matilda Loisel. She looked very sad, disturbed, and anxious. She would not speak to her husband. She was quiet, and she was behaving in a completely different way. So Mr. Loisel could not understand what happened to this lady here. Recently, I have gifted her a 400 franc, you know, uh, a dress which cost 400 franc, and now she's not talking to me. So he wanted to know what's the reason actually, and he says, what is the matter with you, my dear wife? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days, means you are behaving very strangely. You're not responding to me properly. What is the reason? Is there any issues? Then what she says, I shall have such a poverty stricken look. I would not prefer to go to the party. She says that I do not have a jewel. I do not have a jewelry to wear to the party. Now you have given me a good dress. It's okay. Thank you very much for that, my hubby. But let me tell you that I don't have a jewelry to wear to the party. So how can I go? How can I go? It would look very odd if I wear a good dress but without jewelry. How would I look? I'd look very odd. So it is better. I'd not go there, right? Then Mr. Loisel had no other options. Now he says that, yes, my dear wife, you look pretty, you look beautiful, and you are very good. You are very good. You are much more beautiful than others. So what you can do, you can decorate your hair with some fresh flowers. You can get some natural flowers and decorate yourself. You would be looking stunning in that. Okay, and that would be, I think, the best way to go to the party, right? But you know what she says, there is nothing more humiliating. This is what you are suggesting is going to humiliate me. You are not going to just humiliate yourself, but it is going to humiliate my entire family also. So it is better we don't go there. Okay, means I would look very savvy, I'd look very odd, I'd look extremely poor in that particular costume and in the flowers. So it is better, let us not go there. Okay, so now what they can do, recently he has spent 400 francs. Now from where he would arrange money to give him a fresh jewelry? A jewelry would cost another 50 or 100 francs for him. So it's very difficult for the economical clerk now to manage the life. Okay, but that's the demand of his wife. What he can do? But he got a way, he got an idea. And Mr. Loisel told his wife that, why don't you approach your friend, Madame Forestier? Madame Forestier is a rich lady, and I think she must be having a wide range of jewelries with in her closet. You can go and get one. Okay, why don't you? Madame Forestier went to her closet. So the next day, what she does, next day she went to Madame Forestier. Matilda went to Forestier's house, and then she, in very distress, she was not feeling very comfortable actually. You feel very odd, no, when you are going to beg someone, when you are going to ask for a loan from your friend or somebody else. You feel very awkward. Really, it doesn't sound good also, isn't? You feel very very uncomfortable in taking help from others. But if you are poor and helpless, then you have to open your mouth. If you don't ask for help, then nobody would come forward. How will the people know about what your problem is, and they would be able to solve it, right? So now what happens, she, however, she gathered courage, and she spoke to Madame Forestier. And finally, Madame Forestier was happily, she told that she took her to the room, she opened the closet, and she showed her lot many jewelries she had. Whatever the jewelries she had in her racks, whatever the jewelries were packed in her room, she showed everything to her. Okay, but after going through all those jewelries, what Matilda says, have you nothing more? आपके पास कुछ और नहीं है? Means she was not interested in all those that was being shown to Matilda. Okay, she was not interested. Means I think she wants something very classy. She wants something very different. She wants something very elegant, so that she would look like the prettiest and the richest woman in the party, isn't? So now let us see. But she says that, yeah, why not? Yes, I have. I do not know what will please you, but at this particular moment, Matilda discovered a black satin box. Okay, there were a black box was there nearby in that closet. She suddenly took it out, and what she did, she opened the box. Okay, and when she opened it, she found a beautiful, gorgeous, very, very luxurious, elegant ornament. Okay, a jewelry was there, a diamond jewelry was there in that. Okay, and now how is she going to behave? So what happens? She got excited. She with the permission, with the help of her friend Madame Forestier, she could got this particular one. Now she took it home, and now on the day of the ball, she beautifully decorated herself. She beautifully, she dressed herself properly. She combed her hair properly. She decorated her, ears and nose with the beautiful jewelry that she had borrowed. And on that particular night, she looked elegant, gracious, smiling, full of joy. Okay, see, and every man noticed her. Means whoever the man they were present there. Means when you go to a party, obviously it's very common. It's very common that if there is a beautiful girl sitting somewhere around or standing somewhere around, then obviously the man would look at her. So in the same way, she looked so gracious. She looked so beautiful. Okay, she was looking so graceful that all the eyes of the man were stuck on her. Okay, and she everybody asked her name. Everybody wanted to take a photo or selfie with her also. I think in those days selfie systems were not there. I think it is a very old story. Anyway, means she was the means attraction of that particular ball. Okay, she was the main attraction on that particular, and she danced with enthusiasm and intoxicated with pleasure. Means she got everything in her life. Okay, after wearing that dress and after reaching that particular party and after getting beautiful compliments from the man and the woman there. Okay, she got filled with joy, and she was in the seventh heaven. I think I would say she was in the seventh heaven. Okay, and at this particular time, there was a customary thing is there. There is a custom that when the ball will be over, then the husband would come and wrap the lady with the fur. Beautiful fur should have been brought by the husbands, but unfortunately this poor couple are very poor. They're really poor. Although they pretended to be rich there, they tried to showcase their, they didn't reveal their poverty there. But when the time to wrap with the fur came, suddenly she slipped out of the ball. And at this time, it was already 4 o'clock in the morning. So they were about to come to the home, but they didn't find a cab there. Cab means, a cab, the word cab and the carriage, it has come from the French. It has come from the French word. It's not English word. It has come from the French. Okay, so they didn't get a carriage, or they didn't find a cab to reach home, but somehow they managed, and they came to house. After reaching home, she went to the dressing table, and she finally she wanted to took she removed all the things that she was having, right? And she wanted to have a look of her in the mirror, right? And when she wanted to take a look of her in the mirror, suddenly she uttered a cry. She started crying out. And why she started crying out? What was the reason? Was there something wrong? Her necklace was not around her neck. Means the necklace is lost now. The necklace that she had borrowed from one of her friend, the necklace that was very costly, even she can't afford it to buy at any cost. Okay, which she had borrowed from one of her friend, is now lost. Okay, now what would happen? Now it's already midnight and the morning is going to come, right? And it's time for Mr. Loisel to go to the office also. But somehow, somehow they have to manage it. Somehow they have to get it. At any cost, they have to return it to Mrs. Forestier. Otherwise, they would feel embarrassed. What Mrs. Forestier would think about them, means how mean these people are, how cheap these people are, that they have not returned the jewelry that had been borrowed to them. And these feelings were coming, so they were feeling very unhappy. So finally, what happened to him, Mr. Loisel, he dressed himself and he ran over to the street. And actually, many things came to their mind. They thought that, what did you lose it? Means, what was the last time you saw the necklace around your neck? This way they had a conversation. Both husband and wife had a conversation, and finally they didn't have the contact number of the cab. They didn't have the contact number of that cab driver. That's why he ran away to the street through which they had come to their house. But unfortunately they didn't find. And the next morning, what he did, he went to the police, he registered a complaint, and he also gave an advertisement in the public, so that if someone who is generous, if he finds it on the street, he may return it to Matilda and her husband. But unfortunately they waited for the whole day. They waited for few many days also, right? Even they wrote a letter to Mrs. Forestier, and they told her that means your necklace has got some damage, and we have given it for repairing, and within a week we will be getting it back. Then we would return it. Now 1 week of time is also passed. Now 1 week of time is also over, and they didn't get that particular costlier diamond necklace. So what happens, they wanted to replace it with a new one. Okay, because Mr. Loisel is a very gentle person, very simple man. Okay, and he can't face that embarrassment. He can't face that particular embarrassment. That's why he wanted to replace it with a new brand new one. So they went to a shop, and there they found a very similar diamond jewelry decorated in the shop. Okay, and they asked for the price of it, and they got to know that it cost about 40,000 francs. But how they would manage 40,000 francs? It's really a big sum of money. Okay, it's really a huge amount of money. From where would they borrow? Okay, and now he had only 18,000 rupees. 18,000 francs were there. Sorry, rupees not, francs were there, and that had been given by his parents to Mr. Loisel. Okay, and now the rest of the money he had to arrange from his from some borrowers, from some of the people, from some of the money lenders, and somehow he managed 36,000 francs to get the diamond jewelry. And finally, after taking a hefty sum of money in loan, after getting a huge amount of debt, after getting stepped into the debt, they could return that diamond jewelry to Mrs. Forestier. And Mrs. Forestier on that particular day did not even open the box, and didn't want to check it out whether that belonged to her or not, whether they had returned it in the right condition or not. Okay, she was such a great lady. She was such a elegant lady, that and she didn't want to even open the box, and she kept it with her. Now 10 years of time passed, and the life completely changed for these two people. Mr. and Mrs. Loisel were heavily indebted. Now they have to pay the debt for 10 long years. Now they had to shift to a very poor locality of the city. They took a very small rented house. They lived in the attic of a room. Okay, and they also had Madam Matilda had to do all the household works. Earlier she had maid servants at home. Now she has to go to the bore wells and bring water. Many a times she gets tired, and she stops, and she gets and collects the breathings also. In this way, the 10 years of time, the 10 years of repayments of loan was really a very, very tough time for Matilda and her husband. But 10 years of time somehow passed, and finally they restored everything they had lost. Okay, they lost a lot many things. They have lost many things. Now what happens, many things changes in their life, and a small mistakes small mistakes of Matilda, how singular is life and how full of changes, how small a thing will ruin or save one. You just see, it's a small thing, a small mistake of yours can put you in a big problem. It can make you or break you. There's a beautiful phrase in English, means if you a small thought and a small step of yours can make you or break you. If it is a good one, then it's going to make your career. If it is a bad step, then it is going to break your career. So in this way, this particular decision of borrowing the necklace from someone else was a destroying factor for them, and that destroyed their life, that shattered their life completely. They became more poor. Okay, now what happens, after some days, Mrs. Forestier was walking in the park, and at that particular time, Madame Loisel, Matilda Loisel, she found her. Okay, and she wanted to speak to her. She wanted to tell her all the truth that happened with her. Okay, already, because the time has passed, 10 years of time of misery, 10 years of time of sorrowful life has already passed. Now, I think she should speak frankly to her friend, and she should inform everything that had happened with them. Now, she called her by name. Okay, good morning, Jane. And Jane got surprised. Mrs. Forestier got surprised, and she said that, excuse me, madam, I think I'm sorry, I don't know you, right? I think you are mistaken. I mean, she could not recognize Matilda. Then Matilda introduces herself, that how, means, her life has changed because of her. The necklace that she had borrowed from her got lost. She narrated everything. She told Forestier everything. Okay, that the necklace that she had taken from her got lost after the party, and for that she had to buy a brand new diamond jewelry at the cost of 40,000 francs from a shop. And for that they had to take a hefty amount of loan. For that they had to live a very simple and very miserable life for 10 years, but somehow they are very lucky that the debt is over now. Okay, and after listening this, Mrs. Forestier felt pity for them, because the diamond jewelry that Matilda had borrowed was not actually a real diamond one. That was a duplicate one. That you can say that was a not original diamond jewelry. It costs only 500 francs. And after knowing this particular truth, now Matilda, I think you can imagine, you can just imagine what would have happened to Matilda. Okay, how would Matilda must have behaved at that particular moment? You just can imagine. So what I mean to say is that, my dear children, life is not just, it is about the look that you carry. Is not just about the luxury. Okay, life is not just about means how much costly dresses you wear. Life is not just about, means how many jewelries you have in your closet. It's not about how pretty you look. Okay, it's not about how young you feel yourself or how young you look. Right? Okay, it's not about the good compliments that people give to you about your look, right? Rather, it is something else. Life is much more than that, my dear children. So from this particular story, one thing we got to know, that here Gadi Mapasso, okay, Gadi Mapasso has given a beautiful lessons, life lessons for all of you, for me as well as for entire societies, that honesty is the best policy. Those who are honest with their earnings, those who are honest, okay, they would never suffer. But those who are highly ambitious, those who have meager earning but want a luxurious life to lead, they are going to suffer a lot. One more thing beautiful, that we should be content with what life gives us. Be satisfied. Content means be satisfied with whatever you have. Don't look at others. Okay, our five fingers are not alike. We can't compare ourselves with other people. What we have is not being possessed by other people. What they have is not there in our homes. Okay, so how can we compare ourselves with other people's? So it's not good to look at others luxuries and get tempted by it. So it is better to be satisfied with whatever the possessions we have, with whatever the materials we have, with whatever the things we have in our life. I hope this video has been able to make you understand the story better. Now I would sincerely advise you to read line by line of the text and appreciate it and understand it. Thank you for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.